Walter Benjamin, The Work of Art in the Age of Mechanical Reproduction, 1935 to 1939. Walter Benjamin's seminal essay The Work of Art in the Age of Mechanical Reproduction, 1935 to 1939, critically examines the profound transformations in art brought about by technological innovations such as photography and film. Situated against the turbulent political backdrop of rising fascism and expanding mass media, Benjamin deploys a Marxist lens to investigate how these new modes of reproduction alter art's very nature, function, and reception. His work is deeply influenced by Marxist theory, particularly the commodification and production processes under capitalism, which render cultural artifacts as commodities subject to political and economic forces. As a member of the Frankfurt School, Benjamin aligns with critical theory's skepticism toward mass culture industries, highlighting their potential to perpetuate ideological control. Technological determinism also plays a crucial role in his analysis, as he emphasizes how new technologies reshape human perception and cultural expression. Furthermore, his engagement with German Romanticism situates his reflections on the spiritual and experiential qualities of art, especially concerning the concept of aura. All these philosophical roots converge within a historical materialist framework, contextualizing the transformations of art within broader social and political changes of the early 20th century. Aura and authenticity, the loss of uniqueness in reproduced art. At the heart of Benjamin's thesis lies the concept of the aura, which he defines as the unique, ineffable presence and authenticity of a work of art, inseparably linked to its particular time and place. This aura encompasses the singularity and historical embeddedness of an artwork, conferring upon it a sacred quality inaccessible through mere copies. Mechanical reproduction technologies, exemplified by photography and film, undermine this aura by detaching art from its original context and making it infinitely reproducible. For instance, the aura surrounding the Mona Lisa derives largely from its physical presence in the Louvre, which cannot be fully replicated in digital or printed reproductions. This diminution of aura marks a fundamental shift in how art is perceived and valued, especially in an era increasingly dominated by digital culture and mass media. The loss of aura thus frames ongoing debates about authenticity, originality, and the experiential differences between encountering art firsthand versus through mediated forms. From ritual to politics, the democratization and refunctioning of art. Benjamin further argues that mechanical reproduction emancipates art from its traditional ritualistic and religious functions, which historically endowed art with exclusive value and authority. In its original form, art's significance was closely tied to its use in ceremonial or religious contexts, reinforcing social hierarchies and collective reverence. The advent of reproducible media disrupts this ritual function, democratizing art by making it accessible to the masses and opening it to new political possibilities. This transition from ritual to politics is evident in the ways propaganda films, such as those produced in the Soviet Union, harnessed mechanical reproduction to mobilize political consciousness and activism. Benjamin's insight illuminates the potential of art to function as a tool of political engagement or resistance, a theme that remains salient in today's digital activism and media-driven political movements. The shift thus poses critical questions about art's evolving social role and the tensions between mass accessibility and ideological influence. Film as the apex of mechanical reproduction. Benjamin highlights film as the quintessential medium embodying the dynamics of mechanical reproduction, fundamentally reshaping the relationship between art, time, space, and audience. Film's power lies in its capacity to fragment reality through editing, creating new modes of perception and narrative construction. Unlike traditional art forms experienced individually, film is disseminated to mass audiences simultaneously, fostering a collective experience. An exemplary case is Charlie Chaplin's Modern Times, which combines cinematic innovation with incisive critique of industrial capitalism, engaging global audiences through an accessible visual language. Film's unique ability to shape collective consciousness and public discourse underscores its enduring political and cultural significance. This influence extends into contemporary media landscapes where visual narratives continue to mold social attitudes and ideologies on a mass scale. Art's political potential, and the ambiguity of reproduction. A central tension in Benjamin's argument concerns the dual political potential of mechanically reproduced art. It can both empower and manipulate. On one hand, mechanical reproduction democratizes access, enabling the proletariat to engage with cultural products previously reserved for elites. This accessibility holds emancipatory promise, as cultural artifacts can challenge dominant power structures and inspire social change. On the other hand, Benjamin is acutely aware of the manipulative capacity of media, particularly through authoritarian propaganda. The Nazi regime's deployment of film, such as Leni Riefenstahl's Triumph of the Will, exemplifies how reproduced art can become an instrument of ideological domination, manipulating mass emotions and reinforcing authoritarianism. This dialectic invites critical reflection on the ambivalent role of media technologies and remains deeply relevant in contemporary analyses of social media, advertising, and political communication. Changing modes of reception, from contemplation to distraction. Benjamin also addresses how mechanical reproduction transforms the audience's engagement with art. The reproduction fosters a passive mode of consumption, supplanting the contemplative and immersive interaction traditionally associated with original artworks. Whereas the experience of a painting in a gallery demands focused attention and reflection, reproduced media such as film and photography often encourage distracted and ephemeral consumption. For example, the rapid scrolling through images on platforms like Instagram typifies this shift toward fleeting exposure rather than sustained contemplation. This evolution in reception is critical to understanding contemporary challenges posed by the attention economy, where digital media compete for fragmented and transient audience engagement. Benjamin's distinction between contemplation and distraction provides a vital framework for critiquing modern cultural consumption and its implications for aesthetic appreciation. Contemporary relevance and everyday implications. Benjamin's insights remain strikingly relevant in the context of today's digital culture, where mechanical reproduction has evolved into complex forms of digital replication, streaming, and social media dissemination. His analysis elucidates the ways in which art's accessibility has expanded, empowering diverse audiences to engage with cultural works beyond traditional institutional boundaries. Simultaneously, the political dimension of reproduced art continues to shape activism, propaganda, and public opinion, highlighting the enduring power of media in societal transformation. The commodification of art, a byproduct of capitalist economies, raises ongoing questions about authenticity, value, and artistic integrity, which are increasingly urgent in the age of consumer culture. Moreover, the proliferation of new creative forms such as remix culture and digital art exemplify how reproduction technologies can foster innovation, even as they challenge conventional notions of originality. Critical perspectives and limitations. Benjamin's thesis has generated extensive critique and debate. Some scholars argue that his idealization of traditional art and its aura overlooks the creative possibilities unleashed by mechanical reproduction, suggesting that the loss of aura need not be lamented but rather embraced as enabling new aesthetic experiences, as media theorist Marshall McLuhan famously contended. Others point to the ambiguity in Benjamin's political analysis, which simultaneously posits reproduction as emancipatory and manipulative without fully resolving the criteria for distinguishing these outcomes. Furthermore, critics caution against Benjamin's technological determinism, which arguably overemphasizes the role of technology while underestimating human agency in broader social structures. Additionally, since Benjamin's essay predates the Internet and digital virtuality, questions remain about the extent to which his framework can be directly applied to contemporary media environments characterized by interactivity and networked communication. Conclusion? Walter Benjamin's The Work of Art in the Age of Mechanical Reproduction endures as a foundational text offering a profound critique of how technological advances reshape art, culture, and politics. Through the concepts of aura, accessibility, and the political potential of reproduced art, Benjamin provides an invaluable framework for understanding the complex dynamics between media, society, and power. While his work invites ongoing critical engagement and faces important challenges, it remains essential for analyzing the cultural phenomena of the modern age, from social media's ubiquity to the use of visual media in propaganda. Ultimately, Benjamin's essay inspires continued reflection on art's evolving role in an era marked by rapid technological transformation. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you found this overview helpful and want to stay updated on future content exploring sociology, philosophy, and social theory.